Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan. This is James, and today we're going to do another fan request about David Pakman's takeaway from the Mueller report. But first, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The link is in the description box, and the website is in the intro to this video. That's right, I'm looking down because I'm reading a script. It says, donate all your belongings to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The GoFundMe link is down there in the description box. Please donate. Alright, so we have David Pakman, one of the Russiagators. I don't know if the person who requested this is pro or against the Mueller report and impeach Trump and Russia did everything and Russia stuff. But I'm against it. I'm a Russia skeptic guy. How about you?
Yep.
Yeah, he is too. So I'm basically going to take all this with a grain of salt. But I don't know. It's worth listening to. I would think it's tanking his viewership for Mr. Pakman, but that and smearing Tulsi Gabbard and going after Jimmy Dore.
He's gonna be remembered on the wrong side of history. That's
what it seems like. All right, so here is David Pakman. The name of the video is Mueller report confirms almost everything was true. All right, let's see if he can convince me.
It's become super popular since the William Barr letter was released a few weeks ago for people on the right and even some people on the left who we've talked about, so-called Russia skeptics, to make a really big show out of demanding apologies from people. Are you ready to apologize for being so wrong about Russia? Are you ready to apologize to your viewers, to Donald Trump, to everybody else? But now that we've...
I don't know if... those guys on the left that criticize David Pakman are saying apologize to Trump.
Yeah.
I think they're more in the camp of please apologize to your viewers. Tell them you were wrong so you can move on from this bullshit and focus on the real way to get uncorrupted politicians into offices.
Also to show everybody that you could actually have some sort of sense of honor and bring some sort of legitimacy towards your your journalism or reporting.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's like...
It's called taking the high road, David. Let's see how he does.
We've actually gotten the Mueller report, which we did sort of midday, late last week on Thursday. Almost everything that was asserted by serious investigative news outlets and reported by them during the 2 years of this investigation has been confirmed to be true by the Mueller report, at least to some degree. And
who are these?
Did you hear what he said? True, at least to some degree. I fucking hate that. Like, no, stop.
That's good for pointing that out.
Either is or I've been fucking looking at this like a fucking hawk, man. It's like, no, you don't get to say that. Who lets you say that? Where'd you fucking learn that from? True, at least to some degree. It's like, what does that mean? Don't fucking double talk me.
Yeah, that is double speak. But all right, I'd like to know who these serious investigative, whatever, journalists or news people that investigated this for years. I'd really like to know who he means by that, or what organization he means by that, because this seems like a mainstream story.
Yeah.
Either mainstream or shills of the mainstream.
And just to build on what I said as far as, true, or at least, what did he say?
At least to some degree,
true.
Yeah,
no. There's truth, 100% undeniable, we know it. Then there's some of it looks like it's true, which is a social understanding of probably, not 100%, we know. Probably, maybe. Like what?
It sounds like hedging bets for future
I hate that.
Future content from David Pakman.
What are you, like a fucking general?
So that when someone really just debunks it completely, and he's like, well, I didn't say it was true. I was just saying it sounded like it was true.
It's like a fucking general on a podium trying to convince me why it was okay to fucking send a couple missiles out based on a whim.
Yeah.
Well, it's true that they did fire chemical weapons, at least to some degree. It's like, dude, I've been never more like motivated to go get a bat and like put a big nail through the bat and just go hunting, you know?
All right. Because this could end up easily turn into a 2-hour video with 10 minutes of content. All right, here we go.
I wish I didn't have to do the following disclaimers and clarifications, but I do because of the political environment in which we're currently operating. I need to be super clear. I don't want to confuse anybody. Has been confirmed to be true by the Mueller report, at least to some degree. And I wish I didn't have to do the following disclaimers and clarifications, but I do because of the political environment in which we're currently operating. I need to be super clear. I don't want to confuse anybody.
You're not confusing anybody by your doublespeak, right?
Well, once again, he's trying to. Okay, you have the Nico Houses, the Jimmy Dores, Michael Tracy. Like he's sort of like trying to stay somewhat in the area so that his fans won't completely write him off.
Listen, let's say he has a girlfriend.
I think.
Let's say he has a girlfriend.
Opinion.
Let's say he has a girlfriend.
Okay.
David Pakman. All right, you're the girlfriend. Okay, David Pakman's right here. I'm the girl he's cheating on, okay? No, you're the girl he's cheating on. I'm the girl he's with. You walk in. Oh, David Pakman, why'd you cheat on me? Oh, well, I did, but to a certain degree, though. It's like, what?
Only to a certain degree.
Only to a certain degree, I did. I'm really trying to be specific here. It's like, then what the fuck was that? What was that?
Yeah, playing both sides.
It's fucking like, come on, man. There's no room for that.
Yeah. Still not a minute into this video yet.
Listen, if someone says some bullshit in the first 30 fucking seconds,
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
I'm not gonna say it's bullshit and not say why specifically.
I get it. Here we go.
Donald Trump hasn't been caught personally colluding with Vladimir Putin. Nobody was seriously claiming that the outcome of the Mueller investigation was going to be Donald Trump caught personally colluding with Vladimir Putin on the 2016 election.
A lot of outlets made it seem that fucking way. Right?
Yeah.
Putin's puppet. Why didn't he...
Rachel Maddow, remember her?
Yeah. Why was he, why did he believe what Putin was saying when they did that conference and they're standing next to each other on the podiums?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? Why is Trump pulling troops away from Russia? We should have more troops there. What's going on here? Shouldn't we have our guns aimed at Russia right now?
Pulling troops out of Syria? No, stay there.
Trump, he's beholden to Russia. This is the narrative I was hearing. And even if there are specific words we're not saying, he's completely bought and sold by Russia. He does Russia's bidding no matter what. Even if those words weren't explicitly said, they still implied it with the narrative and how they're doing it.
I am 100% sure if someone said that.
The stories, the promos, the music, all of it was insinuating that Trump was beholden to Russia.
I'm sure people have said that.
And I'm sure people have said it too.
So.
So.
And by the way, this fucking theory that Russia hacked the election. What? What does that mean?
I think he's going to say that later on.
I can't wait. Let's hear it.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Here we go.
As William Barr, Donald Trump's attorney general, said during his press conference last week, no one on Trump's campaign personally participated in Russia's hacking of Hillary Clinton or the DNC. But again, nobody was claiming that Trump's campaign was specifically involved in that hacking.
All right.
They sort of. I'm pretty sure they implied that the entire way through.
What got hacked?
We'll get into that. I think I know where you're going.
I don't like this fucking these words that are thrown around.
We'll get into that, but it definitely seemed like the mainstream media was implying that was the case. Well, certain journalists, certain mainstream outlets. Here we go.
But now that we've actually had the time to go through the Mueller report, more than 450 pages almost of the Mueller report in detail, the deniers, if anybody, are the ones who owe other people apologies, and I'm going to explain it to you. And let me be super clear. If you're going to write to me and tell me that I'm wrong in what I'm telling you here, and you haven't actually looked through the Mueller report, you have no basis for telling me that I'm wrong, because everything I'm going to tell you today is out of the Mueller report.
Can I say Mueller could be lying?
Yeah. He's a trustworthy guy, by the way.
Could Mueller be playing sides? Could Mueller be doing it? I could do that without reading the fucking report because we have evidence of it. We have the Iraq War testimony. Just saying. That's just a nitpick. Just throwing that out there.
That's a big huge
nitpick.
point.
It's a nitpick.
No, I'm not calling it a nitpick.
Here we go.
As far as somebody's report attacking the credibility of that person, it's like, yeah, that's good. That's a good point. Yeah. Nitpicking is, well, he was accused of rape.
Here we go.
We had this 2-year campaign by Donald Trump and the right, and even some on the left, to call reporting on Russia fake news, to call serious reports about what Donald Trump and his people did in the 2016 election and during the investigation conspiracy theories. Whatever term you want to apply to it, the Mueller report tells us that most of the reports were accurate, at least to a significant degree. And
Play that again?
It seems like he's trying to force it to be true.
I know. Let me hear it again.
Accurate.
At least to some degree.
I'm going to hit play now.
People did in the 2016 election and during the investigation conspiracy theories. Whatever term you want to apply to it, the Mueller report tells us that most of the reports were accurate, at least to a significant degree.
Pause
and again,
accurate at least to some significant degree.
Yeah.
What is it?
Hedging bets. It's like Sam Cedar on with Glenn Greenwald, and Cedar's just like, well, it seemed worthwhile to investigate at the very least, even though it's like, you couldn't see how someone from an outside point of view looking in could be like, are you selling the Russia story?
Yeah, I know.
Are you perpetuating the Russia story? Are you saying it? Are you implying that's sort of true? Are you doing that? Are you doing shit like that? So they have to sort of hedge bets and have to be like, well, it was worthwhile to investigate, right? There was a reason to investigate, in which case someone who wasn't buying into the Russia bullshit, like Glenn Greenwald, who was saying, like, well, it's worthy to investigate anything. Like, why not investigate it? Sure. But I think Glenn was being nice about it. At the same time, Sam Cedar seemed like he was selling the story as reality, as we should focus on this. This is how we get Trump. This is how we get him out of office. Like I think Pakman was doing, and like the mainstream media was probably doing.
Like Pakman, like fucking 5th grade, like gets caught cheating on like a spelling test or something like that. It's like, hey Pakman, you cheated. It's like, well, yes, to a certain degree. It's like, huh? Yes or no,
Yeah, and then he just ends up getting a C grade on it. They just negotiate it down to a C. Let's continue.
If you haven't looked at the Mueller report, then what exactly are you going to argue with me about when I know many of you are going to send me angry messages and comments and tweets? Let's start, for example, with the Trump Tower meeting. Don Jr., Don Sr., Right Wing News, Hannity, whoever else, they all said ad nauseum, the meeting was basically nothing. It was an afterthought. It's not a story. No one within the Trump organization, campaign organization, was really counting on or putting much weight on that infamous meeting with the Russian lawyer. The Mueller report confirms that Trump Jr. immediately was super interested in this meeting. It was communicated within the campaign. Everybody was really eager to get dirt on Hillary Clinton from the Russians. The reporting on the story was almost completely accurate despite all of the denials. Still doesn't mean Trump personally colluded with Putin. Nobody was seriously saying that was going to be the outcome.
Now, I imagine there's a bunch of, like, if you're a creeper, like the Trumps probably are, and someone calls on the phone and says, hey, I got dirt on your opponent. I got political dirt on your opponent. Oh yeah, come on in. We'll talk about it. I'm sure that happens all the fucking time if you have creepy politicians. I'm sure all their campaigns look for information about the other person, about the opponent, and they'll take anything from anyone. See, this is the only way this works is if you believe the Russians hacked the election or hacked the emails or whatever, or hacked the DNC. If you have that presupposition, then the rest of it, it's like, oh, you're meeting with Russians to get dirt on Hillary. It's like, well, you could ask anyone. Like, I just figure that these guys, these political guys during their campaigns, they'll look for dirt on their opponents from any source.
Team players always will.
And the only reason anyone cares is because they're Russian, because people are blaming the Russians for hacking the DNC. I hope what I said made sense. Here we go.
The pending information that they were waiting on was discussed at campaign staff meetings before the meeting took place. Campaign staffers were sitting around waiting for the information. This was a big deal internally. It was reported about 15 months ago. It was reported more than 15 months ago, and the reports were effectively completely accurate. Another example. More than a year ago, it was reported that Donald Trump ordered Don McGahn, the White House counsel, to fire Robert Mueller. And Don McGahn reportedly refused, saying, we're not going to do that. That would be a bad idea. Those reports were called fake news by Trump. It was called fake news by Fox News. And the Mueller report confirms that the reports were true.
So, once again, it's another thing that's like, so?
Yeah, so what?
It's like, in his mind, he's probably seeing like, it's like some weird conspiracy shit going on.
Yeah.
Espionage and spies and white hats and black hats, weird shit like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's seeing in his mind. But in reality, it's like, he could have been like, Trump could have just easily been like, let's try it. This guy's out to get me. Can I fire him? I want to fire that guy.
Yeah.
Like, clearly. And I'd say clearly those guys were out to get him.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about it. So we have the meeting with the Russian lawyer or whatever, looking for dirt on Hillary, who he could have been from fucking Ethiopia. He would have took the meeting to find dirt on Hillary to win the campaign. That's one. Two, fucking to fire Mueller.
Oh,
there we go. It's like
James,
he could have easily just been like,
yeah,
this guy's out to get me. Get rid of him. That doesn't mean he's like, oh no, they're catching on to me.
Yeah, I know.
They know I'm working for Russia. Get rid of him.
The Mueller report confirms that the reports were true. It happened exactly as was reported. The Washington Post, back in 2017, reported that Paul Manafort was briefing government-connected Russians on the Trump-Clinton campaign of 2016. Hannity said, you can't trust the Washington Post. They're constantly reporting false stuff. The Mueller report confirms that it was taking place, the briefings were taking place by Paul Manafort of government-connected Russians, exactly as the Washington Post reported.
Yeah, but can't you like try to paint a picture by taking events that happen and say, see, look, like, doesn't that look nefarious? That means someone could be working for the Russians here, or whatever. I think Manafort's crime was like fraud or something, and had something to do with Ukraine. And there's probably Russians involved with that thing. Like,
as far as the official, like, what they're accusing him of. Trump.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, it's like a straight up crime to be Russian and talk to talk to anybody. Like what's her name? Maria Butina. That chick got arrested, and she's going to jail for 18 months. And it's like, if this was like a spy, like a real spy who really did some shit, manipulating people and all that, all on behalf of the Russian government, like, would she get 1.5 years in jail? You'd be thinking you're permanently here until until your government makes a negotiation to get you out. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere. So she was probably just I think she was like a college student or something like that, and she's sort of forming meetings between these rich fucking guys and these political guys. I don't know all the details. I'm just saying. The point is, if it was some super spy, you wouldn't get 1.5 years in jail.
Another example. Remember that story from BuzzFeed which claimed that Trump told Michael Cohen to lie to Congress, and it was widely touted as fake news, Trump touting it as fake news and the enemy of the people and all of that stuff. Well, if you look at the actual content of the Mueller report, it, quote, finds that Cohen lied, and he did so at what he believed to be the president's behest, that the president knew he was giving false testimony, and that the president's lawyers encouraged that testimony. In his report, Mueller wrote that Trump's attorney told Cohen to, quote, stay on message and not contradict the president. It's confirmation of the story.
I wouldn't be surprised that Trump instructed someone to lie about something. And in fact, I'm surprised he's smart enough to say it without saying it, so that it wouldn't come back to him. But does that mean that he works for Russia or whatever? I mean, what else was the investigation for? Right? It all started with Trump being, under control of Russia. So it's like, what else are we investigating here? We're just investigating for the sake of investigating. Say there's some things here, but we don't really have much to, prosecute this guy or impeach him or whatever. I don't know where any of this would be going. It seems just more like saving face. That's what it seems like.
Let's just admit it, man.
Yeah. we were mostly right.
No, we were right.
About these things
at least to some degree.
That say absolutely nothing about the election or anything like that. So it's like, why were you focused on it so much? You were hoping it would lead somewhere. Let's just be honest about it. You're hoping it would lead to Trump getting impeached or whatever the fuck. Or you winning against your competitors. I got the Russia story right. Yes. There we go.
I could go on. I'll give you just another couple of examples. Russia successfully penetrated state voting systems. It was reported on way back when. It was denied. The Mueller report confirms that it's true.
So what?
Yeah. Was that true?
What?
Is that true?
That Russia penetrated
voting machines or whatever?
No.
It could be. Well, I fucking doubt it.
You know what I mean? My bad. Highly unlikely, at least from the evidence that I heard.
Yeah.
Comparing both of them. Like, what?
I mean, if you ask like a computer whiz kid, they'll tell you that, like, if you're gonna hack something and you want to get out, like, you didn't do it, like, you want to get out scot-free.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you leave a signature behind that says, like, Russia. I'm Russian. Like, at the end of the code, it says Russian.
I remember.
Like, what?
I remember this. It was like, Russia, they hacked our election. And they originally, and it was like, oh, actually, what they really mean is that people from Russia, or whatever the fuck, like a bunch of like troll farms, or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? They made memes for both political parties.
Yeah.
And they put them out there on social media. Oh, so people are stupid enough, so when they fucking read those memes, they instantly become influenced. So they have to go to a fucking booth and vote.
Yeah.
That's how they did it.
Also,
it's like, yeah. And the whole fuck. My bad. Go ahead.
With the point I brought up earlier, you can look at like Vault 7 from WikiLeaks, where they show documents that the CIA can put like other countries within their coding.
Yeah.
Like if they hack something, they can like leave a little breadcrumb, like Russia or wherever, Spain. They can make it look like someone else hacked them.
They hacked our election. They hacked the emails. How do you know that? How do you know?
Even when you have retired experts, guys who are at the top of their field telling you different, you still won't believe those guys. Just nope. Official story. Yeah,
Robert Mueller, the former director of the FBI, he from 2001 to 2013. I'm sure that dude's credible.
Yeah,
positive. And his career prior from that, I'm sure that dude has no reason to lie about nothing.
Reminds me of Scott Ritter. He was like a UN inspector, and he's like, it's impossible for Iraq to have weapons of mass destruction. Like we know this. We know they don't. He was saying that.
Yeah.
He's just like Bill Binney today. He was like, We know it wasn't hacked. It was leaked. Like, those are forensic type guys, and they're still not believed by David Pakmans and mainstream media. Let's continue.
Another example. WikiLeaks was reportedly a go-between for Russian hackers and the dissemination of hacked information from the Clinton campaign and the DNC. No. WikiLeaks is just a clearinghouse of information. They're not political. They're not doing anything with Russia. Well, the Mueller report, again, confirms that the reporting was completely accurate.
No, that one, I'm 99% sure that what David Pakman just said is absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
They're talking about, what the fuck's his name? The fucking hacker name that they claim was Russian. Guccifer 2.0 or some shit. And there was another one. And it's like, this thing, like this hacker or whoever conveniently pops up around this time. Says, I'm the guy. I'm the one who did it.
Yeah.
Come and catch me, copper.
Yes. You'll never take me alive.
Now, the theory that was running through my mind, and I think other people's minds, were, well, Guccifer 2.0 was really just a quiet, maybe like a contract cyber guy, contract hacker, like, here, we'll give you the emails, or we'll give you password, or we'll give you something to where you can hack our thing. Then it's basically like a, how can I explain this? Like a duplicate crime. So that it seems like that you're almost masking the actual thing. Most people thought it was Seth Rich leaking documents from within the DNC, logging in, printing or whatever the fuck he does, saving things on a flash drive and giving it to WikiLeaks and through Dropbox. So in order to claim that the Russians did it, what you do is you do a double crime. The crime that Seth Rich did, and then you do a fake one sitting above it. Then you focus on the fake one and say, look at this guy. Oh, look, he's claiming to be Russian. See this? So then WikiLeaks, who will not release their sources, like super integrity in journalism, like we will not tell you who our source is. They won't say anything. They won't say anything other than it wasn't Russians. That's the most I've heard them say. And Julian Assange, basically saying it was Seth Rich without saying it. But he doesn't give. They don't give away sources. That's the point. So anyone can pop up and say, "Yeah, it was me. I did it." Blah blah blah. And they investigated me and blah 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 blah. And it's like this Guccifer 2.0 with no name, no face.
To me, it reminds
no one knows who they are.
Yeah. To me, these remind me of like ISIS claimed responsibility.
Yeah.
Did they? Did they?
I'm trying to think of a movie where this happens, like a double crime, and it almost one hides the other. All those fucking spy.
You mean Scooby-Doo?
No, all those Mission Impossible type things.
Yeah.
It's where a real crime and a fake crime are happening at the same time, and they're using the fake crime to hide the real crime going on.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. So that they can blame Russia for everything.
Russia?
I probably explained that poorly, but I'm not an expert. How dare. So the hacking thing, also the actual forensics. They never seem to do things like that. The things that are necessary when major crimes happen, they never seem to do the right thing. If you committed a crime of any of these type of things, they would do all the forensics. They'd catch you.
If they wanted if they wanted to get me, they would.
We found,
or they'd try,
1/1000th of an inch of James's beard, like a little spike of hair from your beard. They'll catch you and line your DNA up and whatever. But for some reason, with these things, they don't do forensics on right. The DNC servers just trashed or thrown at the hard drives. Wiped clean.
It's probably because
it's what?
If they truly did, there'd be evidence of what they fucking done.
Bin Laden, just throw him in the ocean. Fuck it, let him go. Fuck it. How come with things
Allegedly.
like that? How come with things like that they just they don't
Allegedly.
do the full-on investigating?
Allegedly,
it's
it was
incredible. It's incredible.
Well,
So,
it's,
yeah,
it's
Bill-
the fuckers that believe it. It's more astounding to me. you know?
So Bill Binney was like, "There's no possible way it was hacked." He said he looked at the speed that the files were, I guess, downloaded or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The speed of them meant that they were taken locally rather than hacked through the internet or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's my understanding of it. So either way, it's like, Bill Binney, will you unretire in order to investigate this thing? Please. This might be one of the most important cases we've ever had. Will you please unretire to investigate this? Yeah, sure. You know what? You're fired. You're finding out too much. They'd fire him the next day. All right, let's continue.
Another example, and I'm not going to go on all day with these, but there are so many. Trump personally didn't collude.
That's called selling the story.
Yeah.
There's just so many, you know. I bet Aaron Mate could go clip for clip with him and just murk him on all these points. He's been digging into all the information, so he can't be like, did you read the whole thing? Yeah, I read the whole thing. Here it is. Here we go.
But people under him tried to collude, like, for example, Don Jr. When it came to Don Jr. coordinating the Trump Tower Russia meeting, the Mueller report actually says that it appears Don Jr. was too dumb to know what he was doing might be criminal. Quote from the report: "The office considered whether this evidence would establish a conspiracy to violate the foreign contributions ban, solicitation of an illegal foreign source contribution, or the acceptance or receipt of an express or implied promise to make a foreign source contribution. There are reasonable arguments that the offered information would constitute a thing of value within the meaning of these provisions," just like we've been saying, "but the office determined that the government would not be likely to obtain and sustain a conviction for two other reasons. First, the office did not obtain admissible evidence likely to meet the government's burden to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that these individuals acted willfully, meaning with general knowledge of the illegality of their conduct. And second, the government would likely encounter difficulty proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the value of the promised information exceeded the threshold for a criminal violation." Donald Trump Jr. did it, but he was too dumb to reasonably believe, according to what Mueller says, that he was committing a crime. The other...
Because Mueller said it's true. It was in the report.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one. Once again, you have the presupposition of, if you're Russian, you work on behalf of the Russian government.
Yeah, I know.
So if they talk to you, you're attempting to work with the Russian government.
Yeah.
That's the presupposition. That's the window dressing. That's the mask that he's laying out over all these things he's saying, in order for you to be like, you don't even pay attention to that fucking point.
It's like I have a conversation with some sort of like foreign leader. He's working with the American government, you see. Why was he talking to him?
Yeah.
It's like, you guys automatically assume I'm affiliated?
Yeah. And they may. They also can.
Yeah.
Right? Sure. If you're the Tim Cook, who's the guy, the lead guy at Apple, if you're the Tim Cook of Russia, and you have conversations with Putin, does that mean you work on behalf of the government?
No.
But once you paint this picture of the dangerous Russians that are doing this and that and this,
and you run with it for like years.
Yeah.
Well, like what, 3 years?
And then you look at it, it's like, it's shit we do too, by the way.
Mm.
Our politicians meeting with the heads of corporations and all that. Once again, not an expert. Let's continue.
Another glaring revelation from the report is that a ton of people lied to investigators and aren't being charged. I'll give you an example. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos's brother, Eric Prince, who famously ran that mercenary firm, Blackwater, before it was renamed multiple times, testified under oath and lied many times. Prince said he had no official or unofficial role in the campaign or transition, but it turns out he had multiple meetings with high-level campaign officials at Trump Tower, including with people like Don Jr. Clearly, this is at minimum an unofficial role in Trump's transition and campaign. He claimed that when he went to the Seychelles in January of 2017, it was to meet with clients from the United Arab Emirates. Turns out that it was actually Trump-associated individuals who set up those meetings, not the UAE. Another lie to investigators. Prince claimed under oath that he never communicated with Steve Bannon regarding the UAE or U.S.-Russia relations. Well, we now know of text messages between Eric Prince and Steve Bannon during the time that Prince was in the UAE. It's all spelled out in the Mueller report. And again, it's all details, but these details continue to expose that lots of people lied and they are not facing consequences. So,
Okay. All right, I guess get him for that or something. For lying, for perjury, I guess would be the
Point
word.
is, does this report prove that Trump colluded with Russia?
Well, he already said from the beginning that this has nothing to do with talking about Trump colluding with Russia. It's like, really? Because you guys seem to make it, like, I don't know, it seemed that way. Otherwise, why, there's plenty of dead bodies all around the world you could be reporting on. But this seemed to be a focus of certain people.
Yeah.
As in, Trump was going to go down for it or
You guys,
whatever.
Yemen, no? Nobody? No one?
No.
Oh. Okay.
So, yeah. I guess get him for lying about it. In which case, doesn't say much to me. He could have just been... Any of these guys could have easily just been like, they're out to get us. I'm willing to lie to stay out of trouble. Or whatever. Or some are just already corrupt businessmen, meaning like Manafort. You could have prosecuted him like 8 years ago and caught him for a crime. Maybe for the same crime. It's like... So this whole revolvement around Russia just happening right around the time Hillary Clinton and her trash campaign and her trash message. You voting for her, David. It's a little weird, a little suspicious for the normal folks out here. Here we go. Minute left or so.
So, are there fair criticisms of reporting on the Russia probe? Absolutely. Corporate media was hyperbolic in many cases. Corporate media...
I don't know why I want to say your corporate media too. Like unofficially corporate.
Yeah. I mean...
I wouldn't be surprised if you got money from them or
Or
you're trying to join them. And I'm not just talking about the Russia stuff. It goes further than that. The smearing and attacks of certain people. Go ahead.
I don't know.
No?
No.
No? All right.
Media devoted way too many of these 8 or 12 person panels to the probe. Sure, I'm on board with you. People got carried away with the probe in terms of reporting. Some Democrats got carried away, thinking the probe would ultimately take down Trump, which I've been saying for more than a year that it would not. But if you look at the reporting from investigative sources, serious ones, and you compare the claims they made to what is in the Mueller report, most of those stories were correct. So
Once again, what did I say it was? Like, sort of like walking that fine line and taking guys that look for independent media, like, oh, the mainstream media is bullshit. Looks like I want some independent reporting. And they see this guy or Sam Cedar, and these guys are, well, we're not fully in on the Russia story, but we're not fully away from it either. It's worthwhile to investigate. You're just like, you're like the gateway drug for them to go to Rachel Maddow every night. Like, this Russia thing must be a big deal. It's like they're substantiating it. These independent journalists have nothing to do with MSNBC, even though they might work for them. Just saying. Throwing ideas out there.
The reporters who I won't even name who are agreeing that the Mueller report confirms the coverage was wrong for years. I mean, they're just wrong, and the Mueller report is the proof that they're wrong.
They're just
and the
wrong.
delusions are running rampant. And my ideal situation is one where, forget about the right because we know that they're lost. I hope that the left can come together and agree that basically
We need to vote for Biden.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm joking. Actually, if Biden wins the nomination, he will be touting Joe Biden. Like, vote Biden.
All right, let's keep going.
most of the reporting was right. Most of the serious allegations were correct. The expectation that the report would take Trump down was never reasonable, and that now we can say, hey guys, we've got 2020, because otherwise we are going to see Trump reelected in 2020, and we will have another 4 years of this. So once again, I believe that the left is slowly coming to a consensus agreement.
I want to hear this.
Reasonable, and that now we can say, hey guys, we've got 2020, because otherwise, basically, most of the reporting was right. Most of the serious allegations were correct. The expectation that the report would take Trump down was never reasonable, and that now we can say, hey guys, we've got 2020, because otherwise we are going to see Trump reelected in 2020, and we will have another 4 years of this. So once again, I believe.
What does this have to do with 2020? This was helping Trump for 2020. So I don't see how this was. I don't know why he brought that up. This would be a benefit to Trump because you're not paying attention to his actual fuck-ups.
Yeah, I know, like Yemen.
Yeah.
That's recent.
You're not paying attention to that because whatever.
Time to save face.
Whatever.
Believe that the left is slowly coming to a consensus agreement, the entire left, about what took place and what didn't take place. And it would be good to do that and to get past the partisan, not even partisan, the internal bickering that has taken over a lot of sort of enclaves of the left. And we've got to move on to 2020.
Yeah. I don't know. You just don't seem like the voice of reason in this scenario, so I don't know why you're calling for us to look forward to 2020. It's like, are they going to be looking for you? I think most people are going to move in a different direction, rather than the guy, the smears of Tulsi Gabbard. Like, actually, David Pakman claiming to be a progressive, yet smearing Tulsi Gabbard, smearing Jimmy Dore. It's like, the people are not on your side in this, Pakman. Your fan base is now what they call the Mick resistance, where it's like the McDonald's version of resistance. Take Trump down no matter what. If you got to vote Biden, do it. Yeah, you're not going to hear that from real people. I sent a tweet out in response to it, like, nope, we're not picking Biden if Bernie doesn't win. Straight up. Bernie voters are not going to be like, they're not going to bury their conscience and destroy their conscience in order to vote for a Democrat because they know what that is. It's like, oh, you're just continuing what Trump did.
Yeah.
Maybe things might be a little better, maybe even a little worse, but not much. Right? You can't move now, man. All right, anything to say on that? Yeah, so this was our fan request. Please feel welcome to let us know in the comment section of any video. Hopefully I see them. Sometimes I don't get notifications for it, but if I don't respond in a decent amount of time, just send in another one. Put out a comment of any video you want us to react to. Anything. Unless it's so silly, I can't do it. Like Muay Thai's albino army. I don't know if that was meant to be silly, but
Don't encourage him.
the point is, I had no grounds to react to that. Like, I have no business talking about this. Anyways, please subscribe if you like. Comment. Let us know what you think. Agree, disagree. Give us more information because I am ignorant a lot about this. I felt it unimportant when there's dead bodies piling up on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Like I said, make a fan request. Anybody on any topic. Whatever, we'll do it. Please donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery. Link down there, description box, GoFundMe account. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.